Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. I'm just waiting for a few more people to join and then we'll start uh, today's conversation. I hope you all are doing well and you're taking care of your well being. I know this is a very difficult time. The pandemic has happened and very difficult for the well being and mental health. And that is why we are here to talk about things related to mental health and encourage all of you to participate and I hope you like the session today. So today's session is about conversations, and uh, I think within 5 minutes we'll start. I'm very happy that all of you guys joined the session. This is the first live session by Making the Invisible Visible, and I'm very happy that we are able to do this. Right, so I think it's time. Let's start with the session. So, hi guys, I'm Shivani. I am one of the co founders of this project called Making the Invisible Visible. And the whole idea of this initiative is that there are so many invisible things inside of us related to mental health which are not out there visible to people, visible to the society. And we are a group of 6 people who have made a commitment to ourselves that we are going to make all these invisible concerns out there visible to all of you and to the society. And that is the whole group. This is our whole group about. And today, this is an initiative which is known as Conversations That Matter. We often have so many things to talk to, but we usually don't talk to anyone. We usually don't convey what we really want to say to someone. Either it is because of the judgments that people are going to pass on us, either we are scared that no one will understand us, or either we only don't understand ourselves. But in the whole process, what we largely fail to understand is that not having that conversation is really going to affect us in a long run. And that's why this initiative is here. And I hope that you all like this. Today, we are going to have our first conversation with our guest and one of the members of the group, Bruno Farias. I would request Bruno to come live and uh, talk to everyone about let's talk to everyone about your journey with ADHD. So do you guys know about ADHD? It is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. um, Bruno will tell more about it, but I will just for your brief, I'll tell you that ADHD is a developmental condition and it starts right from your childhood and it impacts majorly your school life, your all the lives actually. And oh, so Bruno is here. Hi, Bruno.
Oh, sorry, I was a little bit fast.
Don't stress. I think we have a very good audience here, and everyone is here to hear what you have to say. Everyone is here to listen to your story and our conversation, particularly. So don't be nervous. I think it's a good audience. Audience, why don't you share some comments and give some hearts to us so that Bruno don't get nervous and we can start well.
Yeah. Hello,
Yeah.
Shivani. Good night, good evening, and good
Good evening.
afternoon from Brazil.
Yeah.
And I am
So,
very happy to be here and talking to you all. And thank you for everybody that's watching us now from India, a place that I miss a
yeah.
lot now.
We miss you too, Bruno. Really. So,
You all.
guys, let me first tell you a little bit about who Bruno is and where Bruno comes from. So Bruno is an architect by profession, by degree I would say, but by heart he is a true nature lover. He loves surfing, he loves nature, and he is very good at drawing and illustrations. So that's Bruno for
Thank
you,
you.
and and he has got amazing green eyes, guys. So I hope you like that as well about Bruno. Okay, so I'll for all the people who have joined right now, I'm again going to repeat that today, me and Bruno, we are going to have a conversation, and that conversation is going to be about his journey with ADHD. ADHD is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. The whole point of this conversation is to normalize conversations related to mental health. There's a lot of stigma associated with mental health, and I think it's time now that we all start speaking to each other and normalize this whole area of mental health. So that's the primary agenda of this, and also to encourage all of you, all the viewers, all the followers, that you also come up on this platform and talk to us and share your story and have a conversation.
Yeah, everybody's very welcome here, and I just want to make this a nice time, sharing some experiences and sharing some feelings with you all.
Yeah. So Bruno, I'd like to start by asking, I want to know this actually, that it's very difficult for people to come on this platform and platforms such as Instagram or YouTube and talk about something as personal and as difficult, like a condition that you have struggled with all your life. So I want to know that how did you get motivated to come up and have this conversation with me today?
So I believe that after a long time dealing with that, so I think I have created some strength, like something inside of me, like I need to put it out, because I cannot keep that with me anymore. So, and I also think that there are three main reasons I believe. First, it's express my experience and share that experience with people who might be feeling the same, or people who are struggling with the same thing I have struggled
Yeah.
before. And I guess the main reason in among all of these reasons is to break the stigma, and
Exactly. Yeah.
just to say that it's okay, like it's an issue, and you can make that not an issue anymore, and it's
Yeah.
possible, and there is no problem, and I was just a little bit, like tired of carrying that with me all the time, and I believe and after a while I start to think, well, maybe I'm not the only one, like everybody
Yeah.
has some kind of issue, and it can vary from people to people, but still that break the stigma is very important, because I believe that can help people around the world to to to, to try to come out, of that
Exactly.
trouble.
Exactly.
I believe it's something like that, like
Yeah. I think I can totally
yeah,
relate to what you're saying. The biggest reason that why people don't come up is stigma. And it's okay, it's really okay to come forward and talk about what you feel. And it's really okay to express. And I think expression is really important to have. Are you being with family or being with friends? It's very important for you to express. And I think you've raised a very good point here. So Bruno, how was it
yeah.
like? Like, was it easy for you to express with your friends while you were young in your school? Because okay, so tell the viewers more about ADHD first, and then let's take this, that how was it with you? How was ADHD for you?
Yeah, for me, I believe that the most difficult part was to realize there was some problem with you, with
Right,
me,
right, yeah,
because I used during school time I used to stare at my peers, my friends, and I noticed that, they were always getting best grades than me, and even if I tried to study hard, it was something really, really painful. It wasn't normal. You know, so I believe this kind of disorder, it takes you. It's really hard to concentrate on something. You know, it doesn't matter
Right,
if it's something
right.
that you like or something that you don't like. Both, anything. It's even difficult to stop and watch a movie that you love or read something that you
Oh,
like. This is the
right.
hardest part. And for me, I believe that this disorder is much more about concentration, about being calm, and
Okay.
you start to act with impulsivity, a lot of impulsivity. And the big problem, I believe, is the consequences of that, can lead you to another problems.
Right.
And
Yeah.
people, they don't know that, Shivan. In school, in school was a little bit hard because it was weird because I could not speak to my. It's not that I could not, but I didn't feel okay to talk openly with my friends. So
Right.
actually I didn't talk to them, because I felt, oh, am I stupid? Like, can't I get any good grade as well or something like that? It was nothing about that, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. What about you? Have you ever felt about that in school? Have you realized if some of your friends were, I don't know, feeling the
Yeah.
same?
Bruno, I'll say that during school times we were so young, and it was very difficult to grasp all this that you're saying because we were always protected by our family. We had parents to take care of, and we had people to go to. But it became more difficult when you go out and go to a college setting where you are all your on your own and where you meet people you don't know. And during that time I think this becomes very tricky and very difficult. And with respect to the attention that you were talking about, I think in my school I had people who were not good at studying. And in school everything was about grades and everything was about studying. I mean, if you're not good at studying, you're not good at anything. And this was
Mhm.
something which used to trouble me a lot. Though I was good at studying, but I used to look at people and I used to look how they were treated in the classes. There were different rows for people who are good in studying, and there are different rows for people who are not so good in studying. And the way the teacher used to treat them was also very different. And I think this is not right. This thing
Yeah.
is serious, and one should look at this.
But just one
Before Bruno,
one point.
I'll just want to. There are some new people who have joined this conversation. I'm very happy that people are joining this conversation. I'm just going to tell you guys that we are having this conversation with Bruno here, and Bruno has overcome a lot of struggles in his life because of ADHD. And today he's talking about how ADHD affected his school and throughout all aspects of his life. If you guys have any questions for Bruno, you can put it in the comment box. If you guys want to share something or have a conversation or a talk with me, you guys can still put a comment. And yeah, so yeah, Bruno. So where were we? What were you saying
Yeah,
about your
yeah. We
school?
were talking about the time in school when I start to realize that, but I didn't know what was. So, but I believe that the grades reflect your situation. Even if you study hard.
Right.
I don't know if it's your case because you look for me a little bit nerd, no? So
No,
I
I'm not
guess
a
grade is not a
nerd.
problem for you.
No, no, no. It's not like that. I mean, I've been always told that I am a topper and I'm a ranker, but trust me, that's not the case. In school, things are different. Once you grow and once you go towards higher education, things really change and things change for good and bad. So I don't really believe that one can be a topper all their life. There's nothing like a topper actually. you just need to learn, and that is the whole point about education.
Exactly. Yeah, and there are people who for them it's easier to learn some kind of things, like for example in school there are people who it's easier for them to learn math or anything else. But in my case, for me it was everything looked difficult. The only thing I could do it with pleasure, not pleasure, but for me it was easy was football, playing soccer.
Right, right,
And but even though like even in sometimes I was like, I don't want to run. I don't want to
right,
play
right.
anymore. Just I just want to get out from here, and I don't know. But
So, Bruno, what was the turning point of your life? Like, you started from school and you said that for you, the biggest problem was to accept that you're going through something. And after you accepted,
yeah.
how did your life changed from the acceptance phase to where you are today? What was it like for you to be in that phase?
So when I accepted that, it was when I was really tired. I was sad, very very sad. Like I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to do anything. I lost the pleasure for surfing. That it's my passion.
Oh, oh,
And so I was like, and I was like, man, I need to talk to someone. And I told my mother, like, I'm not okay. And I have everything someone might need in their life. Nothing, I
right.
don't lack anything. I have a family, beautiful family, good friends, house, food. Like comparing to the rest of the world, I have everything. But still, I couldn't do anything, proper
Right,
like I
right.
thought I could. Like I couldn't use my whole potential. And that was making me very sad. And I told her, and she was like, you need professional help.
Is it your
And
mom? Your mom? Did your mom really tell you that?
yes, yes,
I mean,
she
it's very
said because,
surprising actually. It's very surprising because I'll tell you what that in India the situation is quite different. I mean, I can't generalize and say that it is everywhere, but mostly uh, parents have a very different viewpoint. They are very much intertwined with the way society thinks and functions, and this is a taboo there. So
mm,
a mother pushing someone or a mother encouraging their child to seek professional help, I think it's a big thing. And a lot of people do struggle to just speak to their family, to confess to their family, to open up to them. And I think you've just got lucky, Bruno,
yeah,
seriously.
no, no, for sure. I was very, very lucky. But my mom knows me better than anyone in the world.
That's
So the thing is, it was like I was in college. So I was facing that for, I don't know, 15 years. So
15
she knew,
years
yeah, since I was in school till college, maybe the middle of college. And I was like, man, what can I do now? Tried, I've tried by myself, and I see that it's not working anymore. So my mom said, "Lo, you need professional help." So what would be that, né? What's the professional help? So we're talking here about therapy, you
therapy.
know.
Okay,
Yeah, like
right,
because you said that in India there is a big taboo, like so in Brazil there is also a big taboo. It's not most of people they don't even know what this is, the ADHD, or mental
right,
issues.
right.
People, I believe that a lot of people here think, oh, this guy is mad, and some stuffs like that.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, that's okay. I understand it's lack of information, and that's okay. It's not everyone who knows about a lot of different things, and we can understand that. But that's our point of our conversation, normalize that kind of talk. That's very important
right.
because
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong on that. So, and I don't know, do you think in India, this kind of thing, the therapy is a taboo
Right.
as
Yeah,
well?
even therapy. So I'll tell you how it is. Mental health services in India are really costly. So there are
Same
psychologists,
here.
there are psychiatrists, but you don't know who to go to, and there are like 700 to 800 Indian rupee that they charge for one session. So even if someone wants to seek out help, it becomes so difficult unless they have a support or unless they have a friend to talk to. And that's why I think, to all the people who are here and who are listening to us and who have joined right now, we having this conversation, and we want to really highlight the fact that conversations are very important, and you must have it with each other, very openly and honestly. Like Bruno is today here talking about his journey with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and the life is not really good, and it's not really as smooth as it should with this kind of problem that someone can face. So, Bruno, you
Yeah.
told about
Can I?
surfing, like surf. Yeah,
Yeah. Can I just tell you one funny thing
yeah,
before?
sure.
Like my mother and my father, like when I was a kid, they used to say that I wasn't normal, you know,
Okay.
because I couldn't stop anywhere. My mom used to say I couldn't go out to have dinner because you could not behave yourself, you know.
Oh,
And they were planning to have, I have an elder brother and me, and they were planning to have another one. So three children. And after I was born, they gave up. You know, like
oh,
they were like, "Can you imagine another kid like Bruno?" Like, no, I can't handle that. It's too much. No, but this is, she said that like as a joke, you know, but
okay.
as a joke.
Oh,
So you were
I
saying,
no, absolutely. I mean, what you said is, I'm just trying to sing that in
you know,
because
this is
maybe.
hyperactivity, you know, it's something.
Right, right. Okay. So, I was telling you, Bruno, that we have one question right now coming up in the
Mhm.
chat box. And I think before we go ahead, we might want to take this question. So, the question says that how important is the role of meditation? Does it help?
Look, I can tell you one thing, man. Nice question. I guess meditation helps a lot. However, it's not the first thing you must do, you know,
Okay.
because it's really difficult. If you cannot read a page of a book or 10 pages of a book or stop to watch something, it gets very hard to stop and meditate because your head
Right.
will stop, you know. I tried that once and I was like, man, I can't. After 1 minute, I was like, I need to walk, you know. However, after a while, after therapy, I try it again. And nowadays, it's good. I know it's a little bit of time, but I can do it for 10 minutes now, you know.
Oh, that's
And
great.
for me, that's a big evolution, you know. But it's good. It's very good meditation. It helps me a lot, you know. But I think that it's not just about meditation. It's not only meditation. When we talk about ADHD, you know, I guess meditation comes a little bit after, you know. I
Right,
believe
right,
that's it's a really great tool, you know, for sure. But I don't think it's the
right,
first step.
right. So, I hope, Harshit, you've got the answer of your question. I'd like to, if anyone else has any questions that they want to know from Bruno or from me, please put it on the comment box. Anything related to the conversation that we are having, or about ADHD, or about mental health, please put it in the comment box, and we'll try to talk about it as well. So, Bruno,
Yes.
there is a little bit confusion here that one of my friends, he had ADHD, and what whenever he used to tell me that I'm having difficulty in concentration, I used to tell him back at that time that, you know what, I'm also having difficulty in concentration. And at that time I wasn't aware enough to really understand that the way I am having problems might be really different from the way he is having problems. So how is it different? Like, every child has concentration and attention span problem, but uh, can you tell us that how is it really different for ADHD kids?
I believe that we can see the difference when, for example, when you're doing something that you like, you know,
Right.
because everybody's going to struggle. Like, for example, oh, we have to do some kind of assignment. You have to read
Right.
30 pages of economics. It's difficult, you know, like it's very difficult for everyone. However, if you all, for example, you like, I don't know, if you have an activity you like, for me, it's surfing. You know, I was
Right. So
facing the same, facing the same issue, you know. It was difficult to read, to do the assignment that is not something that, you know, makes me feel excited.
is it?
But, and
I'm
surfing makes
surprised
you
actually. I'm surprised because
about,
as far as I know, like, I'm surprised because as far as I know, surfing is the thing that you love doing, and like
no, no, no,
hearing it
it's, no,
from
no,
you.
no, 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 it's, yeah, yeah, it is I mean, it's something that I used to get very excited, you know.
Right,
However,
right,
after a while, I couldn't feel that anymore, you know. I wasn't that interested on that anymore. It was really difficult for me to go to the ocean and wait for a wave, you know. I was feeling, oh man, this is so boring. You know, I kind of lost the will to practice it.
right. Right. I mean, yeah, yeah. If I think about myself and my hobby, I love dancing, and I would not get distracted while I dance. So I think there you can see the difference
Yes.
between
Yeah,
both of these.
that's what I was about to ask you, you know, like for example, if we had to read 30 pages about economics, you know, about the economy, we would face the same struggle, you know. It would be difficult for both of us somehow. However,
Right,
if you go dancing for an hour and I go surfing for an hour, I don't know, you know, like if in my case it was very difficult, you know, I couldn't focus on the ocean, you know, I couldn't concentrate on the move of the water because when you go surfing, as we can have an analogy with dancing. When you go surfing, you need to be connected to the environment, you know, to
right,
what's the direction of the wind, how is there a current on the ocean, who's around you, and you need to be concentrated, you know, in order to get the good wave. And
right,
dancing, when you dance, I believe you need to be concentrated and connected to the music, you know, connected to your body, to your the way you breathe, you know,
right, right.
and that connection I didn't have that anymore, you know. It
Yes.
was, I believe, I don't know
Yeah.
if you while you were dancing you felt something like that once. I don't know.
Um, actually, when I'm dancing, I actually can't really think about not being involved with the dance. And that's why I think I
Mm.
can make the correlation between how it is difficult for me and you doing something that they really love, and how attention plays such a big role in that. Bruno, I think we have a question in the chat box for you, and that is by Ketul. Ketul wants to know from you that how someone can identify that he have such type of issue.
Yeah, that's the most difficult thing, I guess. Man, I believe that you need to pay attention people around you, know, how your performance. First, you need to stare at your performance on something, school, college, work, you know, or if you're not feeling excited about things that you like a lot, you know, like sometimes we need to compare, you know. I mean, when we talk about performance, and as an example, performance on at school, like the grades. Sometimes there is people who study more than other people, but even when people who doesn't get good grades try their best, try to study their best, and even with that they cannot reach a good grade, this can be an issue, this can be a signal.
Right,
Or
right,
if you lose interest on things that you like a lot. For
right,
example, last year, since 6 months, I don't like to read anymore. Like,
right,
this is something that, so when something weird that is not normal starts to happen often,
right.
I believe that's a sign. That's a sign.
Wow. Sign. I think
And
Bruno has rightly, he has highlighted this fact that if you don't feel happy while doing things that you really used to enjoy earlier, if you find yourself working really hard for something but you still cannot get to the point where you want to, and if you don't feel it in yourself, if you feel sad, and if you feel not motivated constantly, I think that's a sign that you should take seriously, and that's the sign where you
yes,
indulge in self reflection. And I think I'll always highlight the part about self reflection, that self reflection and self growth both are really important aspect of one's life, and also to identify how to grow better in life. And once you know
yes.
how to do it, I think I think it'll be easy to identify those red flags in the life.
Yeah, and about self-reflection, I can tell you that it's not easy. It's not as simple, because normally we are used to stare at people around you, but it's difficult sometimes to look at yourself, to look inside of you and,
Right,
and,
right,
and talk to you, and that's very important. Talk to yourself. Think about your attitudes, about your thoughts. That's
right.
and that's meditation somehow, like as the other guy has asked before.
Yeah. Yeah, if
You
Harshit, you're
know,
still here and you're listening to you're hearing what we are talking about, then I think Bruno has come up with one suggestion, that meditation and self-reflection, I think both of them go hand in hand. Self-reflection is also a way in which you just close your eyes and dive deep inside yourself and try to know where is it that you went wrong and what is it that you're doing right, and that's a kind of meditation. I think we have one more question, and
okay.
that's coming from oh, thank you. I think someone, Anshu, is telling us that this is highly inspirational. Thank you so much. This is the first time we are going
Thank you.
live, and for everyone who has joined, I want to tell you that we're just having a conversation with Bruno about his life and the way ADHD has shaped his life. And we want to highlight the fact that conversations are really important. So I'll just take this question from Ravi, and Ravi says that, can this issue be resolved by self without any professional help? If you can, suggest.
Look, I have struggled for a long time trying to do by myself, and when I reached for professional help, it was very helpful and much faster. What I used to try to do, and sometimes it used to help me, I used to practice some kind of sport, man. I mean, not surfing, but something more dynamic sometimes, like collective, like I used to practice box. So it was a lot of energy that I need to put out. However, sometimes I didn't want to go, and to be honest, man, without professional help, I cannot tell you for sure that's not gonna help, because each one of us is different. Each one of us have your own level of problems, of issues. But I
Right,
believe that with a good professional, one can, get rid of that, or at least control that and make that issue not be a problem to your whole life, you
right,
know.
right.
And
Yeah.
I believe that the professional help is important, you know. I can tell you that, man, because for a long time I was like, no, man, I don't need a professional help. I don't need, man. I will do by myself. And I tried a lot of things, you know, like sports. I tried to, I don't know, change my diet, you know, eating some kind of thing, stop drinking, because in Brazil, where I used to live, you can, it was really easy to get booze, and that is not good, you know? It's not something good. I don't want to say that. However, man, I believe that professional help is the best thing
Right,
that you can do. You know, I don't know,
right.
Shivani, what do you think about this, about the professional
Um,
help? So,
I think that professional help plays a very important and crucial aspect in growth and making you realize. So there are different. So Ravi, if you're listening to this, there are different kinds of professional help available, and you really don't have to go into the medical or medicines. Actually, you don't really have to reach out to a psychiatrist for help, but there are therapists, and also then there are counselors. And I think counselors really do talk to you like a conversation. They really try to do self reflection with you, and it's very helpful. And once you do these sessions with them, you get an understanding of yourself better, and you are at a better position to judge as to what should be done for your situation and how can you make your life better every day. So I think we should not take professional help as something which is like really out of the way to do. It's just like a doctor. If you have a stomach ache and you reach out to a doctor, or if you have a cough and cold, you reach out to a doctor or a physician. I think a mental health doctor should also be taken as normally as those doctors. um, so
yes.
yeah, I think that is what I feel like. So okay guys, I think Bruno and me, we today spoke about how ADHD was there with him and how he cope up with him. We also spoke about so many ways to overcome it, and you guys were great. Thanks for being a part here. I'll just want to request you all, if you guys have any questions, we have a couple of
Yeah.
minutes left in the
So,
conversation. You can put it
Shivani,
out.
yeah, I guess RuPaul Gandhi 72 made a question here. Did you see? Have you
Um,
ever found
Rupal
resistance to
Gandhi. Okay.
have you ever found a
Okay.
resistance
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
enter?
Yeah, guys, Rupal is asking a very good question, and she's saying that have you ever found a resistance to enter into self reflection? What was the major fear? I think it's a very important question, and self reflection, as Bruno already said, it's not so easy to get into. So, Bruno, would you like to answer this for Rupal?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I there was a big resistance to make a self-reflection, you know, and a resistance by myself, you know, and actually it's fun, it's curious because since I don't know, I heard about that when I was in college, you know, self-reflection, look at yourself and what are the things you're doing, you know. Stop looking around and look at yourself first, you know. And it's funny because you know I used to be a guy I am a guy that I can talk to people, I mean, easily, you know. I don't have an issue to talk to people I don't know and to have a social good life. However, I was always staring at people, and when I started to look at myself and ask myself questions and ask myself what was the attitudes I have taken in my life, so things started to change a little bit. And about the major fear, I don't know if there was a fear, you know, like maybe the fear was to know myself, you know, to realize who I really am can be, you know, like, oh, you did that, Bruno. Like as if I'm talking to myself, hey Bruno, why did you do that? You know, why did you say that to that person. It was not good. Maybe the major fear could be like I was afraid of my self judgment, you know,
Right. Yeah.
and I believe that could be a major fear, and judgment is always a fear. However, I can tell you that we don't need to be afraid of judgment. You know,
Right.
you, this
Yeah.
is this is something that we should not spend your energy on that,
Right.
because it takes a lot of energy.
Right. People are anyways going to
Yes.
judge us. What do you say, Bruno? We do good or
Yeah,
we do
exactly.
bad.
You
We
said,
go
yeah, you
ahead or
said,
we are. People are always going to judge us. People are always going to pass comments. People will always be people. That's why they are called people. But I
yeah,
think.
exactly.
Yeah. So, guys, anyone have any questions? Please put it in the comment box. And uh, so, with this, I just want to highlight this fact that I'm feeling really good talking to Bruno because I know certain things, but for certain things, I think I could feel that. I'm not alone in this, and there are so many things that Bruno said, and it's something that I relate to, something that I have faced in my life as well. And by just talking about it, by sharing openly about it, we touch each other's life in ways that we don't even really know. Like we never identify certain things with someone's life that we can really. Their lives can touch us, and that's why these conversations are really important. That's why talking about mental health is really important. uh, I just
Yes.
feel like we
It's,
should normalize this. We should ask for help, guys. Ask for help, talk to your friends, and I'm sure that there must be people around you who would be facing some issues, who would be going through something. Please ask them. Please ask them if they're okay or not. Ask them if they're fine, if they're doing well. Try to go a little bit extra mile for them, and maybe they are
exactly.
fighting a bigger battle.
Yes, just another point that I want to add, Shivan, is like when I start to work, uh, so I had some issues, of doing the task on the right time. And the
Right.
thing is, like, if you someone here is a boss, or if someone here is working with someone that you can feel that he's not doing his work properly,
Right.
sometimes we just need to, as you said, help. Ask him, hey man, how are you feeling, man? Is everything good? Are you having some problems about doing this or on doing that? You know, just try to talk and open your arms. Like extend your hand for someone, because this person who suffers alone, it's very difficult for the person to go out and talk to someone, because most of the time it's gonna this person will be afraid of judgment or to be labeled, and I can tell you, I don't care about judgment. I don't care about what people are gonna say about me. Like I know who I am now. I know, I'm trying to discover that 100%. But I believe I am on the right way. And here, talking to you guys, to open myself for you, just sharing my feelings, my thoughts, my experiencing to you. It makes me feel very happy. It makes me feel very relieved. And I believe we don't need to we don't need to be afraid of. As Shivani said before, people are gonna judge you anyway. So don't worry. Just go on, and with a smile at your face, and Shivani, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the same. I think the same. Mental health struggles are very difficult, and I think you must reach out for help. You must start conversations with people who are around you, with your parents. If not your parents, then your siblings. If not your siblings, then maybe your spouse, maybe your girlfriend, boyfriend, maybe your teachers. I think one step that you take towards
Yes.
someone, and I think that someone will also take one step towards you, and that is how we'll be able to build a society where conversations will really matter.
Exactly. And this is I guess this is one of the first steps to build an environment, right?
Right, right. I'm very happy for everyone who joined today, and who asked so many questions to Bruno. And I feel really good that people do want to listen and hear about mental health talks, and they want to get involved and want to get so many answers. We will be having another live session soon. And I really hope that you guys again join in another live session. And Bruno, do you want to say something in the end to all the people here?
Yeah, for sure. I just want to conclude by telling everyone who's listening to me today that I have taken a step to make what was invisible and within become visible to all of you. And I just want to give you a small message, like, like, if there is no problem of having a problem, everybody has a problem. So, and everybody will judge you. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay to not feel okay. It's not a it's not gonna be the end of the world. Everybody has some kind of problems. But the thing is, don't keep that inside of you. This is gonna lead you to major problems. To bigger problems. Just
Right,
try to talk to someone. And everyone, it's a good there's a good everybody has a good heart, just and everybody who's not feeling that, try to be empathetic, try to understand someone, see around you, show some empathy to people around you. They might need you, they might be suffering, and you don't know. They might be having big problems. They will not talk about that, for sure. But
right,
if you extend a hand, if you show that you're open, maybe they will create some courage and be able to talk. And I want also thank you, Shivani, for the
thank
opportunity
you to
to
Bruno. I think
to be
you
here.
took a big step today to come up and speak. I think thank you so much for this courage that you have shown to come up and talk.
Thank you. And these conversations that really matters. These kind of conversations can make our environment much more healthy, much more
Right.
livable. And I also want to invite all the viewers that are here to reach out Shivani on the platform to have a conversation.
Right.
And
Definitely, guys. I think it's a great
it's a,
idea. All of the people who are listening, who are viewing this, or who are going to listen to it later, you guys can reach out to the platform to the up to our project making the invisible visible. You can DM us, you can comment on our post, and you can let us know if you want to be a part of this initiative, or if you just want to talk, if you want someone to hear you, you want a buddy with your side, just reach out, and we'll be there for sure.
for sure. Yeah,
Thank you so
that's it.
much, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much,
everybody,
Bruno.
for your time.
We'll be back soon. We'll be back with another conversation, and we'll talk about it next time. You guys can see our updates and our posts. Uh, And I want to say lastly that there are so many invisible things inside of us. There are so many invisible thoughts, so many invisible concerns, and so many invisible struggles that we go through every day. Let's try to make them visible to ourselves and also to the society. And be let's have these conversations with each other that really matter. Thank you so much, guys. And I hope to see you in the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno. Please take care of your well being. Mental health is very important. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, everybody.